Whew. Afternoon, everybody. Let's see. I'm in a new location. Again, just a different location. Same location, different area of the same location. How about that? Um, I don't know how long this video is going to be. This one is. I'm not going to say it's just on the fly type of messages because I have been thinking about this a lot. But the theme has been given to me earlier today, actually earlier this morning, and I felt like I needed to talk about it. Um, I have not prayed, so I'm going to do that now. So, Lord, thank you for this message. I thank you for using me as an open vessel. I thank you for allowing what you would have me to say to everyone resonate, registers, reaffirms, reconfirm, remake, remold someone's thinking as it pertains to dating. Lord, I thank you for everyone who listens to this message. Let them get what they need and let them apply it to their lives. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. So, in talking with several different people over the course of several weeks now, we were all talking about past relationships, what worked, what didn't work. And in this particular sector, I am talking about dating relationships. I'm not talking about parental friendships or any other type of familial. Um, I'm literally strictly talking about dating. And so I have several friends that often talk about how in the past they've dated certain types of people and it all comes out, same results, or they think they found somebody. Um, and it always ends the same. And so um, earlier, I had a conversation with someone and we were talking, and I asked, you know, what was the type of person? What did they offer? There was something similar to everybody that you chose to incorporate in your space in that particular way? What was that? Because in it, that's the type that you pick, but that's not good for you. And a lot of times people will choose things that they think is, oh well, this is my type, this is what I'm attracted to. But then you have to ask yourself, what part of that attraction, why am I specifically attracted to this type of person? What is it, what's in it about that person or about these people that make me attracted to them, yet it doesn't work? Because in it, you can find out the answers to your insecurities. You can find out the answers to there's something missing inside of you, something that you need to work on in yourself because this person um, is showing you like this is what you need. You're attracted to it because that's something that you need, something that you need to work on, and so because you don't have it, you try to find it in something else or it's not something else, but someone else. And in the process, that person may have other attributes to themselves that clashes with the rest of who you are. And so it goes to show that I used to say and used to think when I used not used to say or used to think rather, but I say all the time, um, how you treat me. Um, However you treat me, just know that I'm a mirror and I'm going to reflect it back. So whatever you show me, however you show me how you're going to act, and this is across the board. Nobody gets a free pass. However you treat me, I'm going to do the exact same thing to you. Just know that. So if you get angry with me because of something, know that I am literally being a mirror and showing you you. But going back to the topic, um, people are mirrors and life lessons. And so, some people say, well, if this didn't work out, that doesn't mean don't try again. It doesn't mean that that person was meant for you. And that's true. That person may not have been meant for you, but they were there to teach you something along the way. And you have to figure out what was it that they taught you, because in it are things that you learn about yourself that needs to be taught. So just understand that people are life lessons. If you say this person bankrupted me, I got bankruptcy because of this person. What were you doing for this person or to this person that allowed you to become bankrupt? Because there was some level of your involvement that told this person it's okay for me to do X, Y, and Z for you. It's okay because I'm going to allow this thing. And so that was that person's green flag or green light to say, hey, it's okay because they are allowing me to use them. They are allowing me to go to them as an ATM. They are allowing me uh, to uh, to come to them with all of my problems. Let me dump on them, and then I leave and say, oh, I feel better. And when they call me, oh, I don't have the time or energy or space to come be that shoulder for you because I that's just not me. That's just not who I am. And you allow you allow this person to continue to be in that light. You allow them to not be who you need them to be, and you tell them that it is okay when it's not okay. We shape and mold relationships, right? The purpose of relationships are to get a chance to know each other, and to build off of that knowing. But if someone is so secretive and so private, how can you mold the relationship when you're in the gray, when you're in the dark? You can't. So if someone is being so secretive towards you and you're supposed to be that person, their person, then that means that you need to let it go. You need to let them go. No matter how lovey-dovey it felt, no matter how enthused you are, you have to get the scissors and cut the cord because clearly you're walking in darkness, and you can't see in the dark. Sorry, no matter how many night vision goggles you have, it's not going to work. So you have to leave that situation. And then you have people who say, well, well, we've been dating off and on for years. But if you're going through the same struggles and nothing has changed, then that means that you're just going in a circle. You're continuing to go in a cycle of confusion, and confusion is not of God. It's not of anything positive. Confusion is deadly, um, because it's going to kill something. It doesn't have to kill you physically. Now, and for some people, it has killed them physically, but then confusion can also kill someone spiritually, emotionally, um, and in those type of deaths you can heal from, but it takes a long time. It gets to that part where you're talking about that heart pain, that heartfelt pain that you have to deal with. And the only way to deal with the heartfelt pain is you have to let go of what's not, as they say, serving you. Okay. So just like we talk about holistic health, we need that holistic love. Baby, I need to feel that love in my mind, my soul, and my body. And if I can't feel it, if I only feel it physically, but it's not touching me, as in the good quote of my girl from Beloved, if it don't touch me on the inside part, I won't no part of it, okay? Because it's not serving you the way it needs to. It's not helping you to grow. Um, because relationships, you're supposed to pour into each other so much that you both can grow. And yes, and I have seen, I have classmates. I have two classmates. I love them girls so much. And we have, and granted, we have not talked, but the day that I met them, the bonds that we had, I still feel it here. Both of them got married to their high school sweethearts. One of them got married while we were in high school. They are still married to this day. They are still together to this day. And the thing is, I know that we had to literally grow. They had to grow during those things. So not only did they have to mature in age, but their relationships had to mature in age. And that meant that, if I'm in this thing, mind, soul, body, and spirit, if we are in this thing, that means that as I grow, you grow. As we age, we each go through a change. So as I'm going through my change, you're going to go through your changes, but we're going to go through these changes together. And I'm going to help you with your changes, and I know you're going to help me with my changes. And that is how relationships last more than 2 years, 2 and 3 years. Like I've seen a lot of marriages that happen 2 and 3 years, and all of a sudden it's gone. And it's because um, there's a piece of the relationship that is missing. So, and I mean, and I know they always say that for some relationships, it shouldn't always be physical. But let's be honest, we are human beings. There's going to be some physical aspect of it. So, whereas this person can make you happy emotionally and can make you happy, spiritually, if you're connecting on that level, then that's fine. But if they do nothing for you physically, what would that look like when you try to say that this is going to be permanent? Either you're going to teach that person how to fulfill your physical needs, or you're going to go without. Or the other option is you're going to go elsewhere to get that physical need met and then come back home, whether that person knows it or not. Um, and those are all unhealthy things, because now what you're saying or what you're doing is adding a third party situation to your unionship. I'm not going to talk about polyamorous relationships. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But I'm talking about, if you're saying that you're going to be in a dual relationship, this is what I'm talking about. So then, I even earlier, and I'm hearing it again. What about relationships with people who have different faiths? It can work. It's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy work, but it can work. Um, the thing is, with all relationships, you got to understand what boundaries to cross and what boundaries to not cross. And actually, you shouldn't cross any boundaries. Um, if you know that there's something that your spouse or that your loved one, if you're dating, does not approve of, don't do it. If you know that there's certain aspects of that person's religion that asks this person to do X, Y, and Z, make sure that you, as the person of the other faith, know that, okay, during this time, I need to allow my person to go pray, or I need to make sure that I understand that this person cannot work for certain periods of time. I need to make sure that I am honoring my person's space and belief. Because although we're of separate, that is still my person. That I still need to show love and kindness and grace to this person. I need to make sure that they know that I respect them and I respect their religion just like they respect me and respect my religion. And if they don't respect you in your religion, in the things that your religion asks you to do, then that's when you might need to have that serious conversation or cut that cord. Because anytime you start disrespecting people on in any aspect of their lives, then that's when you start uh, incorporating strife and pain and control into your relationships. And relationships are not about control at all. If any one person in a relationship is controlling, it's not going to work, because what you're telling that person is that we can't have nothing unless you let me control you. I need to be able to tell you to do X, Y, and Z, and you do it because it's my will. Because you're gonna do everything according to my will. And of course, and for those who don't know, in the Bible, God doesn't allow control, because control is witchcraft. It's also known as rebellion. Rebellion, control, same difference. It's witchcraft. It's saying I want you to do what I will you to do, and whatever I will you to do, you have to do it. And nobody should do that. Um, wow, I'm getting such a download and such an opening right now, because it's just like, um, I know my mother and I would have conversations, and we would talk about death sometimes, and we got on the topic several times actually, about how when people die, you can tell when someone has had a peaceful death and when they went through, because it's kind of like written over their face. Um, but when somebody is screaming, "No, no, get away, get away," and they're running from death, that means that, as we say, karma has caught up with them. Uh, so you've been mean to someone all your life, and now as you're dying, it's catching up with you, and you're trying to refute that karma. No, it's coming back to you because you poured out hatred, you poured out control, you poured out your spirit unto something. You poured out your little witchcraft onto someone, and now it's coming back to you, and now you're trying to run from it. But now, no, baby, it's knocking on your door. It's time to go, and you're gonna get everything that you did to someone else. And so, one of the things I was thinking about as I was talking about control was slavery. I don't know why it's coming up in my relationship, but hey, it is what it is. So I was thinking about how many times, when people had slaves back in the day, and they were really controlling people, where you ate, where you lived, um, procreation, what that looked like. You're gonna make babies. All of that was a type of control. That was a type of witchcraft. And it became so strong and embedded into America that it has actually become an hatred of people of color. And there's people out here that literally hate people of color just because of the color of their skin. And we don't get it. We're like, how could people inbreed such hatred? It's witchcraft, people. It is witchcraft, because people willed it. They willed so much ill will and pain and anger into a thing, and that when that thing stopped, it inbred it into people. Now, some people were able to break family curses so it don't pass on from generation to generation to generation to generation. Others it did, and some in secrecy. It's not on your face, but behind closed doors they have something going on. But I said all of that to say, okay, I got the connection, because when you do that in a relationship, what you're doing is you're instilling resentment into your relationship. You're instilling a hatred. And sometimes I have heard people say, I watched my father beat my mother, or I watched my mother beat my father, and I never understood it. So, when it came to love, I didn't know how to love. I ran away from love because I didn't want anybody to treat me that way. So for some people, they will carry that same spirit that abusive father or that abusive mother came, because it is something that that witchcraft of that parent has now instilled into the child. On the other half, the other witchcraft part will go to fear. So it's either going to be fear or anger. And that fear for the child looks like, I don't want love. I'll fear love. Like I can strongly like somebody. I can strongly date them. I can, for some people, have sex with them and it's okay. But now is the time when it gets serious. Oh, I got to go because I can't handle that because they're literally fearful of a relationship because they don't have that, they never had that example with the witchcraft of the relationship from above, that controlling theme from the relationship that they were living in is now passed on to them. So now that's the only thing that they have to give back is what they saw. And some people recognize like, hey, I don't want to live like that, but I don't know how to break it because that's all I know. Well, you break it by breaking the curse off of you, by understanding that you don't have to live that way, that there's some healing that I need to go through so that I don't bring that into my relationship. And a lot of people don't understand that when you heal, healing isn't just about physically feeling better or mentally feeling better or spiritually feeling better, but it can also mean that it can break curses off of you. It means, and whether that's financial, because it, there's a financial aspect to relationships as well. I talked about that earlier. With the finances, this is how I grew up. We live week to week. So that's what I'm going to do because I know, no, when you heal and decide to do the work and realize that there's another way of living, then you're breaking that curse off of you. You break what was inbred or seeded into you. You break it off, you kill it at the root. Something new, you start new traditions. um and many times when people say that, oh, I made it, I don't act like my family members, again, that was because that person was literally covered, had a protection over them, so they don't have to deal with um what they saw as a child. They don't have to deal with the same things that their parents went through or that their siblings went through, because they were protected. But honestly, even they probably have a little something there that they have to watch. It's sort of like that. Or I can't quite put the phrase together, but you'll understand it. When there's one rotten apple in the bag, it makes all the rest of the apples bad. So it's not like that person has been 100% totally free. No, there's a little something there. There's a little spore somewhere that needs to be handled. And it's just how they manage it, really. But again, if you get to the root of it, if you root it out, if you take it out, then your relationships will be better. And ultimately, there were some relationships that um okay, let me start it off with that. So this was 2006. Mary J. Blige came out with the album. I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan. I'm just gonna tell you that now. Um, and it's called I think it's called Baggage or Baggage with Me. Anyways, I got this baggage with me. Don't wanna leave. Don't wanna make something. Oh gosh, wow! I just lost the lyrics, but it's that song. If you know it, you know it. Um, but she started talking about baggage. I have this baggage with me. I don't want to leave. Don't want to make you go through what someone else gave to me. I think it's the lyrics. And the thing is, you can go to different relationships with baggage from another relationship, and that baggage is a heaviness. It's a pain, right? Um, the pain gets you into fear mode or anger mode. And what happens is that when you get to this new relationship, whether this person has baggage or not, you are now inserting your will, that will of fear, that will of anger, onto this next person. And so then it doesn't work. And then you go into, there's going to two different modes. You either say, we broke up because this person did X, Y, and Z. Or you go into the, what is that term? The woe is me phase. Um, I didn't do anything and this person just attacked me out of nowhere. When you brought your seeds, your spores, your witchcraft to the relationship, and when the person fought it, now you're feeling attacked, you're feeling hurt, and you're saying that this person did it to you. But did they really? If you didn't clear out, you didn't clear out the energy from that previous relationship, if you ain't clear out and break yourself away from that first witchcraft hole, all you doing is adding to that first pile. And it gets stronger and stronger with each relationship, to the point you get to that phase in your life where you say, I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to do this. And you can be a great person, but people won't come to you because you have this whole, well, yeah, you have this whole spell on you. And you're repelling people. And God is starting sending you people to let you see, hey, this, remember I said we're mirrors. He's trying to show you you, but you keep missing the cues. And so you either go without or continue to get the same people. Um, or, yeah, you continue to get that same type of person in your life, that shows you you, or that's going to add on to the witchcraft that you already have on your relationships. And depending on what that person is living with or has done, they're going to continue adding to it, or in some cases, you both help each other out of what you have been going through. You both break that curse off of you together. You both free each other, and when you both are able to do that, you both can start anew. Sometimes when you both do that, you may still end up not being together, and that's okay, because you both have your healing now, and you both may recognize that in your new life, in your healed life, that you two are not as compatible as you once thought. Yes, you can be delivered from people, because that's another thing. People are afraid to be delivered from other people. People carry pains and hurts mentally. Um, I'm working on a piece, so some people may hear this now, and some people are going to read it about it later. Um, but as I was talking to my friend from earlier, um, I had a conversation of, people say, I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget. And, that was oh, yeah, that was good. That was good. That nugget right there. I like what you said. I like what you said. But here I'm about to pop that bubble. So you cannot fully be delivered from a thing if you're still holding on to it mentally. You can forgive a person in your heart, and we're human beings, so of course, naturally, we're not going to forget whatever extremity that they did in your life, whatever disruption they did to your life. However, it is imperative for you to let go mentally. Forget it. Forget about it. Because what people tend to do when they don't forget about it is that they relive the moment. Um, they relive the moment in memory, and then they relive the moment in pain. And so what happens is that now It's sort of like muscle memory. Well, because this person threw a rock at me when I was 12 and I had to get stitches in it. Now I don't like this person. And I'm never, I'll forgive that person for doing it because they was doing X, Y, Z, but I will never forget it. But now, every time you think about that person, you relive that trauma of that rock crashing into your brain, and maybe even cracking it to the point where you had to get stitches or surgery. You were reminding yourself of that, and so every time someone that acts like that person, or may even resemble that person to a certain extent, you literally remember that moment and you relive the cracking of your skull from that rock, and you are reliving that pain, causing trauma for you, because it's going to go through your body, your muscle memory, and now you're just like, what am I going to do? Why am I feeling this way? This ain't even that person. It's because you said I'm gonna forgive, but I'm not gonna forget. But baby, you gotta forgive. Because my Bible tells me, if we gonna get scriptural, that you know, God takes our sin and throw them in the sea of forgetfulness. And if that means He's gonna take our sins and forget it, to the point He's like, "What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about. What you talking about? What's the uh oh Lord, I forgot the saying now. But if I forgot about it, then why are you talking about it? Because I forgot about it. When you get, as soon as you gave it to me, and I said, "Oh, okay, blue. Next. Now what else you got for me? Oh, you still talking about it? What are you talking about? I no longer know what you're talking about. I I don't know what you're talking about. I just threw something away a few minutes ago in the sea of forgetfulness, so I don't know what you're talking about. That's what we got to do. That is the only way to truly forgive someone, to the point where, if you think about that person, or if that person comes by you, you don't have no type of ill will. You don't even flinch. You like, no, you don't do any of that. You just, oh, hey, how are you doing? And prime example is, I used to forgive people so much that I have a lot of people that's come into my life and say, I've taught them how to forgive, because they never understood how people could have done things to me, and yet I just act like they haven't done anything to me. It's because I knew that I could not hold on to something. I couldn't hold on to that pain. That pain was not serving me. And because of it, I hey, I went about my day. I didn't feel stuck, you know. Of course, and again, and I'm not saying that, for some people, you may actually forget the thing that happened to you, and others, you may not ever forget it. But the forgetting that I'm talking about is, again, that pain of the incident, not the incident itself. Because again, you're going to always remember that. How many times we say, oh man, I remember this accident I was in, you know um and for a while, you'll have that trauma, you'll have that memory, but then eventually you forget about it, you forget about how you feel. And so now, when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, I remember getting into the accident, but you don't get that fear that you had, because you let it go, you released it. And so the same thing, we have to do that with relationships. If someone treated me wrong, I have to, okay, help me to forget it up here as well as down here, so that I can forgive that person, so that I can let it go, so that I'm not carrying that baggage, so that I'm not carrying that witchcraft with me to my next relationship, because this person don't need to go through what I went through, if they're not deserving of it. And so, and just to give you an example of an accident, I remember in college, I was on my way back to school from home. I don't know what break it was, but I remember this lady hit me in the back of my car with a red truck, a huge Dodge. Um, and we're talking about the year 2000. I would say this is like 2005, 2006. And so, for those of you who are around or remember or can remember, those Dodges were huge. That's when they just started bringing out the huge trucks. And for a while, every time I saw a red truck behind me or read anything behind me, I would clench my steering wheel. I didn't know that's what I was doing until one day I did it hard enough, and I was like, "Why am I clenching this steering wheel?" And I said, "Oh, that truck." Um, and I realized that I was going through something um, fearful. But then it got to the point where when I saw a red truck, I no longer had that fear. And so that's what I mean. Like when you get through an incident, you're going to remember going through it. I remember that incident. I remember having that incident, but I don't remember that fear. I let that fear go. I let the uneasiness of seeing a red truck behind me go because all it is crippling. It is crippling to you and it serves you no purpose. So let it go. And so now, when I say choose up, which is today's message, choose differently. So if you are noticing that you have that certain type, you're choosing your dating relationships from a certain pond. Stop fishing out of that pond. Go somewhere else. Uh, I'm gonna be the opposite of TLC right now. Don't stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, because if what you're used to is not serving you, that means you need to go to a different lake, a different river, a different waterfall, and get something fresh, get something new. Um, if you if you are someone of status, why would you look for someone that is homeless? That person is looking at you for shit. That person is looking at you as the Willy Wonka golden ticket for success to go up. No. Get with somebody that is worth your time, that can equally pour into you as you can pour into them. Now, I am not saying that if you find somebody that can equally pour into you the way you need to be poured into, and y'all have two different levels of income, to not date. That's not what I'm saying. But if you know that that person cannot pour back into you the way you need to be poured back into, you don't need to invest in it. It's a bad investment. It is what it is. It's a bad investment, and you don't need to put in that type of investment. You have to make wiser choices, make wiser decisions. And the only way to do that is to think up, think to that next level. Where is it that you're trying to go? Where is it that you want your relationship to go? Find those type of people. Don't find people that is, for lack of better terms, beneath you. And again, this is if they can't pour it to you mentally, physically, and spiritually. You want that holistic type of love. That love that says, baby, I got you when you're going through. Baby, you worrying about money. Baby, here, let's match it. If we put our monies together, we can get through this thing. Um, Baby, I know you're not feeling well, but I'm just going to love on you anyway. I'm going to pray for you anyway. I'm going to make sure that you go through positively anyway, because you can't do it right now. Or when that person is going through, you can say, baby, I got you. And that person openly allows you into their space and openly allows you to love on them and love the hell out of them. That love that again is respectful, is not judgmental. That love that says, Some people will get my quote. Let me just put it that way. Even against the world, I will protect this relationship. No matter what the naysayers say, I know you, you know me. We don't have secrets between us. The only secrets that we have is when we trying to surprise each other, and we don't want the person that we're trying to surprise to know that it's a surprise. That's the only secret that we have between each other. Baby, when I mess up, I come to you and let you know my mess ups because I'm expecting you to forgive me because you love me enough that you're not going to hold that grudge over me. You're not going to hold it over my head, but you're going to forgive me, and we're going to fix this thing. We're going to work this thing out, and we're going to move on together. Because as I grow, as I age, and experience changes, you're going to grow and the experience changes, and I got to be there for you just like you are there for me. That type of holistic love is what I'm talking about, people. And again, that love is not trying to control, baby. I'm not trying to control you. I have an opinion because I'm with you. Yes, I may have an opinion. I may share my opinion because I may want you to think of this situation in from my perspective. Okay, I want you to see things from my perspective because you may see it one way, but let me tell you how it looks to me, and maybe we can compromise on whatever this thing is. And I'm what I'm picturing when I say that is, you know how sometimes people dress a certain way when they're single, and then when they get in a relationship, it's like, babe, can you not dress like that anymore? And it's I'm not trying to control you, but it's my comfort level because although you caught my eye dressing like that, but you're not out there fishing no more, baby. You caught me. I don't need you to go out there fishing no more. Or if you're gonna dress that way, let's do some type of compromise. If you normally go out, I'm using this because I'm sleeveless. But if you normally go out sleeveless, maybe if you could put a light something on your arm, just because that's I find that arm attractive. I find that sexy. I need you if you can cover that up because that's my that's what's in my treasure box right there. I don't need everybody seeing it. Now if you amongst your friends and yeah, but when you and again, it's not that controlling thing, but it's like you got to have those type of conversations to understand what will make somebody comfortable or not. Because you can't be in a relationship and you say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna do my thing anyway because this is me," and da 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 da. Because at that point, what you're telling that person is, "I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your opinions, and I'm gonna whatever you say to me, I'm gonna do my thing in my way anyway, and you just got to deal with it." And so understand that when that person says the same thing to you, you can't get mad. And then what most people say is, "Oh, so now they're being petty. Now they're being picky." No, let me tell you this: picky begot picky. Petty begats petty. Okay, we call that what people karma. What you put out, you're gonna get in return. So if what you're dishing you can't take, then don't dish it. Because when it comes back to you and it starts slapping you across the face, I'm seeing that commercial where the cat's like, and if that karma is coming back and slapping you in the face, you can't get mad, you can't get hurt because you put it out there. Okay, and so if you do things holistically the first time, the right way, then you don't have any of that to worry about. Because when you choose up, you're choosing to go above what you normally do. You're choosing to go above what you what you're used to taking. And especially in the dating world, if you're choosing like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna go to the bar to find my next relationship. Let me go to a conference. I got a work conference, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna connect with the singles there because hey, we're all here for the same thing. That means we have the a same like mind. And no, I'm not telling you to go to conferences just to find somebody to date. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to give you an example of a different pond to look into. Um, my guard sis graduated from law school, and I was joking with her, and I said, "Oh, we've been getting this thing wrong." I said, "It's a lot of good looking people out here." Um, I've been saying, and people say don't go. People find each other at two places, at weddings and funerals. I said no. Graduation is where it's at, because you get a chance to see the family. You get a chance to look from afar. You don't know, and that's probably a love story out there where I just personally haven't seen it. Where somebody said, I was at my cousin's graduation, I was at my sister's graduation, looked over to my right, and bam, there my mate stood. There my person stood, and I could not help but approach that person. We were all there celebrating anyway. It was a celebratory moment. So I introduced myself, and we kept in touch, and now we're together. I haven't heard that yet. So if you're out there, please let it know, because let's talk about your story. I met my spouse at a graduation. But anyway, it's something different. It's something, and that doesn't go to say that you're not gonna meet the same type of people. Because if you have a type, you have a type. Break from your type. What's different? And I'm not talking about drastically different, but what about your type that you need to look for something else on? Because who was that? I have a friend who recently said, "Oh, I like a thug." Okay, you like a thug, but maybe in liking this thug, there is something different about it. Maybe you found somebody who is giving their life to Christ, and they still have their thuggish ways, but they just thugged out for Christ. You know, yo, I don't know why I'm saying DMX like, yo, praise God, man, huh? Praise God, huh? I'm gonna lift my hands, something like that. You you know, you still got that essence, but you're no longer, or the person, for her, I would say, he still has the essence, but he's not thug out on the street. He's just a thug in the church. He still got that. He still got that. No, he still got that. I know how to speak to people. Um, Mentality. That I'm gonna protect you. Like, this is my girl. Like, what you talk about, player? Like, I'm saved, but I used to be out there. I pop a cap. Like, hey, if I need to pop a cap, I'm gonna pop a cap and pray for you later. And there's people out there. I mean, it's that essence of the person. Like, there, but it's like, what else about that essence don't you like? You have to dissect what you like, what you're attracted to, and find the opposite. Because when you find the opposite, you'll find the different type of person in the type of person that you like. And I hope that makes sense to you. I'm gonna say it again. That way you'll find the different type of person in the type of person that you like. Meaning it may come in the same package, but on inside of the package it's gonna look totally different. If you used to picking the green box with the gold bow with the blue lining inside, maybe you need to pick the green box with the gold bow with the red lining on the inside, because it's different. It's going to give you different. It's going to treat you different. Okay? So choose up. And maybe, what you're attracted to again is something that you need to be. If you are somebody that inwardly goes in, but you find yourself attracted to people that, um, I want to say introverts, but we know that introverts and extroverts, that's just two separate things. But if you're a person that normally, like, I don't go out, I just stay in, I'll go to certain groups, but the people that I'm around, I'm not really attracted to. Okay, well, baby, how about maybe you do go out? Maybe you do go out to social settings. Maybe you do try something new. Maybe you go take that cruise that you've been saying, I'll go on that cruise one day. Maybe you plan that cruise now. And maybe when you go on this cruise, you meet somebody that's gonna sweep you off your feet. Maybe if you say, I don't really do sports events, maybe how about you go to that sport event? You go to a sports event, whether it's soccer, baseball, football, or basketball. Maybe you go try it out. And maybe you meet that person that you've been wanting the entire time. And you say, I really don't do these things, but I just decided to take a chance. Well, you took a chance, and lo and behold, you took a chance the right way, because now you met the person that you need to be around. In the words of my good friend Deidre, praise our God. Amen. So I hope you all have gotten something out of this. I want you to choose up. And again, even if the person is a different religion, it doesn't mean that the person will always be. It doesn't mean that the relationship won't work. It doesn't mean that the religious factor of your relationship is going to be the end all be all of your relationship, right? We all follow the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. Um, the karma is real. The seed you plant is real. So make sure that when you're planting your seeds and when you're doing things together, that you're doing it the right way. You're doing it in a way that's welcoming and wholesome for not only you, but for everybody else. So I hope you all are having a good rest of your weekend. I hope you all have a good night. And until next time, be safe, be blessed, and, choose up. Make upward decisions. Don't make it anything that's beneath you. Stop picking from the ground up. Pick from the sky down. Okay? Have a good night.